COVID restrictions are now easing, at least in some places. Virginia Messina is from the World Travel and Tourism Council. I asked her if restrictions are being lifted fast enough to prevent hundreds of thousands more tourism jobs from being lost.
The impact of this crisis has been devastating, and we know 62 million jobs were lost in 2020, but many more remain at risk. So our economy will not hold up unless those restrictions are eased and we have a strong summer.
Wherever you're watching in the world, I guess everyone is gagging for a summer holiday and a getaway. I wonder, from the perspective of the industry, how key is the summer holiday season for the tourist industry's recovery?
I mean, depending on the regions around the world, but of course, particularly in Europe or the UK, this is the strongest season. And that's why probably we're seeing some very strong steps at the European Union level to reopen now in light of the summer. But it really is critical and pivotal for some economies to the next few months ahead.
Governments around the world will tell you what matters is keeping their populations safe. I mean, what do you want? What assistance do you need? What does the sector require at this time?
Absolutely. Health remains the priority. However, we should take advantage of the successful vaccination rollouts in some parts of the world and key markets such as the UK, the US, and some other countries in Europe that are really speeding the vaccination. So what we need to see is some confidence in terms of the fact that travel can be done safely in a combination of measures like rapid testing, health and safety protocols, and of course the vaccines.
Tell me about the wider impact that the COVID pandemic has had on the global travel and tourism industry.
Just to give you a quick example, the previous crisis that hit our sector very hardly was the global financial crisis in 2009. Our travel and tourism GDP dropped by 4%. This time, during COVID, the travel and tourism contribution to GDP dropped by nearly 50%. So this crisis has hit us 18 times harder than that. We know millions of jobs and businesses have been devastated. As I said earlier, 62 million jobs lost. Many more remain at risk, supported by government financial schemes. So unless we can really see international travel to begin to unlock over the next few months, many more businesses will go under and many more livelihoods will be impacted.
And I want to ask you about the skilled tourism workers. The tourism sector simply stopped during the pandemic around the world. Many tourism workers had to obviously find alternative employment. Do you think those trained, experienced, skilled people in tourism will now return, or has the industry been left desperately searching for new talent, having lost a generation?
I think we are seeing some good schemes in some countries around the world to really try to attract some of these workers. I mean, our industry is very diverse. As we know, we're interconnected across so many different sectors, and many different skills really apply and support our sector. So I think it's going to be a combination. I think people say that once you go into travel, your heart stays there and stays connected. So we hope to see many come back. But of course, there's always an opportunity to welcome new people.